So we live together.
Yep.
We watch football together.
Yep.
We talk about football together.
Yep.
Why don't we just start a podcast?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the eye test. It's your boy Lyés and CultureCams. Are you working today? Testing.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what the worst thing is? The worst thing is with people trying to say, Cam, you're speaking too far away from the mic. I'm like, are you not sick in your head or something, bro? Like, can you please blame production, please, about me speaking too far away from the mic? Like, what the hell? They want the mic right here or something. Like, nah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
but
the love they
good
showed
episode, though.
The love they showed for the episode was interesting, huh? They heard CultureCams was silent. So let's see what this episode's finally saying. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was a good episode.
But guys, Euro 2024 is this weekend. Recording a week early, kind of just get you guys some early content. And I thought, what better way to prepare for the tournament than kind of go through it and give our early tournament predictions. In front of me, I got a bracket predictor, so we can go through each one of those groups, talk about the big teams in particular as well too, and kind of make a mock draft. How is this tournament going to end up in the eyes of CultureCams and Lyés? And I figure, look, we're going to have the same. We're going to try and come to an agreement for most things, right? Like, I'll give you a prediction here. You give me a prediction. We'll make it work. Of course, follow along at home. Leave us down in the comments. Dark horse, winners, top goal scorers, all that good stuff. Who's going to be the flop of the tournament? Let us know in the comment section below. Without further ado, let's get into it. Group A. Germany, Scotland, Hungary, and Switzerland. Let's start with the hosts.
Yeah.
Let's start with the hosts in Germany because they have had an interesting couple of past tournaments. Obviously, since 2014 when they won the whole damn World Cup, I think things have kind of been on the decline for the Germans, right? That golden generation that we saw of Ozil, Schweinsteiger, Muller, Lahm, Hummels, the names roll off the tongue. It's kind of been on the decline. Some of those guys are retiring. Some of those guys not at the peak of their powers anymore. And since I would say Euro 2016, where they still made the semifinals, it's been poor tournaments. 2018 eliminated in the group stage of the World Cup. 2021 eliminated in the round of 16 to England. 2020, what was the next one? 2022, the World Cup, eliminated in the group stage again. And going into this tournament at home, a lot of people were kind of saying, oh, Germany, it's going to be another bad tournament from them. But I think the introduction of Nagelsmann as manager and then the return to the national team of Toni Kroos has kind of given this national team new hope, right? The last few friendlies, they've been really good. They beat France, I think, a few months ago. Musiala and Wirtz, two of the best young talents in the world. Kroos and Gundogan in the middle. They got real talent in this team. How far do you think the Germans can go?
I think they can go all the way, you know. In terms of, I think they can get to a final. I don't know. I have 4 kind of favorites, but I have Germany in and amongst that. I have Germany as one of the 4 favorites. I think when you're not only talking about the quality they have, the resurgence, it's that they have a point to prove, and that point to prove is at home.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So that's a perfect opportunity. If you have a point to prove, but you're playing in Spain or you're playing in Italy or something, maybe the drive isn't as much. But when you're going to have majority of the stadium being German fans, everywhere you walk, everywhere you go, outside your hotels, German fans, you've got something to prove. And Germany are a nation which they're winners at the end of the day. I think it's 3 or 4 World Cups.
4.
They're one of the greatest nations in football history. So in terms of efficiency, they always want German efficiency. This is what Germany do. So I think at home, they're going to treat it, everyone's going to treat it serious, but they're going to treat it like their life is on the line. You know what I mean? So I actually think Germany are going to have a good tournament. You're talking about some of the players. Those are top players.
Definitely.
So I look at it and I'm like, why do we kind of have this question mark over Germany? It is because of previous tournaments, I would say. But you're looking at the players. You had a Havertz who's had a good season.
Sure.
And I actually always think Havertz is good for Germany, personally. You've got, as you mentioned, Toni Kroos. You've got Gundogan, who I think still had a good season for Barcelona, despite them not having the greatest year. Gundogan, you're talking about Wirtz, you're talking about Musiala. Defense, or we not waxing lyrical that Rudiger is the best centre-half in the world, probably. They've got Rudiger there. Manuel Neuer still, okay, he had a mistake in Champions League, but he still showed signs of being a top keeper. But then you also got Ter Stegen, I believe, as well. So is he fit? Ter Stegen?
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of 2006 because let's not forget when Germany hosted the World Cup in 2006, they had some bad years behind them as well too. They actually entered that tournament. I know they made the World Cup in 2002, the World Cup final in 2002, but those previous years before 2006, it was really Ballack dragging that nation on his back, and it was a national team that were really looking to find an identity after Euro 1996. But in that World Cup at home, young manager and Klinsmann at the time, superstar midfielder, and like a whole country behind them, they managed to still have a good tournament. They still went to the semifinal. It kind of reminds me of the situation of the Germans in that, look, other teams may have had more preparation. They might be in better form in the last like 2 years, but going into a tournament, like you said, at home, that can kind of make all the difference.
And the thing is, what Germany did after that 2006 World Cup, I believe it was, is they completely reshifted the way their training is, the way they actually view play. Like they did I remember I had to do it in university, right? They did like a whole restructure of everything.
Well, if you remember, that's when all these like I want to say foreign Germans, but in terms of like guys like Ozil, guys like Khedira, guys like Boateng, like they all of a sudden started focusing on them. Yeah, that youth team that destroyed England in the final. What was it? 2009. Unreal. And you saw that Manuel Neuer was in that team. Ozil was in that team.
Thomas Muller was in that team.
It was a crazy team.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They just completely reshifted it, and so it shows that Germany, they don't accept failure. You know what I mean? They don't like. So I think this tournament, after 3 previous years of maybe not the greatest tournaments, I think this year they're going to come out strong, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them at least in the semi-final.
Well, we'll see how far they go because we're doing the bracket. But they're in the same group as Scotland, Hungary, and Switzerland. Now, just to briefly go over those 3 teams, I think the 2 that most people would look at are Switzerland, who have a history in these tournaments of kind of like being able to like upset the apple cart. The last Euros, they beat France. I mean, that was a crazy upset. And Scotland have been really, really good in the qualifiers. I mean, McTominay, whenever he puts on a Scotland kit, he turns into Ballack, speaking of. But I want to look at Hungary as well, too. You know, they have 1 loss in their last 15 games.
Wow.
And it was, in fact, it was yesterday against Ireland. But they've been really good in qualifiers. I mean, even last Euros, if I remember correctly, they were in the same group as Portugal, Germany, and France. And they didn't qualify out of that group, but they gave all 3 of them a really good game. Of course, they got your favorite player, Sobotlai. So I'm sure you're gonna be.
Do you know what? I'll be honest. Yeah, for this tournament, even some of the best teams, I'm not like too familiar with the form going into this tournament. Not familiar too much with the whole squads. I kind of feel like this is the first tournament where it feels like not first one, but first one in a while. I'll say that feels like a new generation tournament.
Yeah,
like definitely. The best players are young. The teams, I feel like they're younger and stuff. Like, so I'm actually going into this tournament, with mad intrigue, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, proper going into. You're looking at Germany that we just mentioned. Portugal, it feels like a whole, not a new squad, but it's a squad that's been developing into now what we're saying potentially is a favorite. England, same way. Same. France always have a shifting of players and stuff, but young players always firing through. Spain, bro, I don't even know Spain's line 11.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely don't know.
What's crazy, bro. Too?
Like, I'm going into this tournament, like, obviously we analyze the game and stuff, and we still will as we watch it, but I'm probably going in there as like a avid watcher, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I hear it. I remember when I was a kid, right? All these tournaments that we kind of go into, we buy the Panini sticker book
player,
for FIFA,
bro.
I know every 23-man squad from Greece to England, bro. Like the way we like absorbed knowledge ahead of these tournaments, and like we're talking to our friends like we're football experts all of a sudden because we read 442's match preview of every single team. But nah, those are the days, man. So who do you quickly see out of that group A between and don't forget as well too that the best 4 third place teams do now advance to the next round, which to be honest I'm not a huge fan of. But Germany, Scotland, Hungary, Switzerland. How does that group?
So do I have to say 3 to go through, or
give us your ranking? So I think
I got Germany to top the group.
Yep.
I will go Hungary
to go second.
Second, yes. Switzerland are always that nation that seem to qualify for every single tournament. They're always there. And I always kind of say, you know what, Switzerland might do something. And they just don't.
You don't think they do?
They do. What do they
I feel like they're a banker to go around to 16 every single tournament. I'll be real. Every tournament I can remember, they get to this round of 16 minimum. Xhaka and Shaqiri, when it comes to international tournaments, bro, they turn up.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm going to go Hungary.
Okay, wow.
I'm going to go Hungary. And then
Scotland.
I can't decide between. I think Scotland are going to finish bottom.
Okay. I think Switzerland have enough, bro. I'll be real.
Scotland
have a good team, bro. I mean, you got Zakaria, Akanji, Sommer. I think Switzerland, to be honest, in these tournaments.
No, are they still relying on Breel and Bolo?
They're still relying on Shaqiri.
Jesus.
Hey,
they're doing that,
fate of the universe on the line. Euro football being played. I'm going Xherdan Shaqiri, man.
I'm going to go Scotland to bottom the group.
Yeah. You think this is a step too far for them?
Yeah. But listen, the teams that they were beating in the qualifiers, say are probably around the levels of Hungary's and Switzerland's and stuff. So maybe I'm underestimating them, but yeah, I think they'll bow out.
Fair enough. If we're wrong, blame this guy.
I'm still gonna do another revised one. Don't worry. Like a day before the tournament, once I've soaked in all the knowledge.
So whichever one is right, you go to that one. And if the eye test one is correct, you'll show us that. All right, Group B, which is a very interesting group as well too. Very top heavy. Spain, Croatia, Italy, Albania.
Wow. Croatia. Is Modric still playing for them?
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
He got one more in him.
Croatia, you can never write off Croatia, innit?
Yeah.
Croatia are always there.
And I think, to be fair, too, like, they do have, like, it's still mostly the same old core. But they got a few guys coming up as well.
But you know, there's always a moment in international football where an old core of a nation just get bad.
Oh, yeah. No, but you know what it is with Croatia? I thought Euro 2020 was their battering, for example. They went around to 16. Remember, England beat them.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's done for Croatia. We saw them in the World Cup. That's it for them. And then they went to the last World Cup and made the semifinals, bro. Yeah. So Croatia are such a weird team, man, honestly.
And the Spain, Croatia, Italy, and who?
Albania. Can we bet on
Albania? I had actually had some guy that was talking to me saying that, trust me, Albania.
Was it Arando?
No, it wasn't Rando. You know? It wasn't Randy. It wasn't Randy. To be fair, he will always be saying that. But
if it was Arando, I'm putting Albania last.
It was somebody else. He was like, oh, like, nah, trust me, we're good. Like, we're sleepers.
Yeah, but every person says that about their national team.
Right?
I remember every tournament I'd be going into Algeria, like, yo, guys, you gotta worry about Belali, man. Yeah. You ain't never gotta worry about Belali.
I'll say, I'm actually going to say, I'm not big on Spain.
Really?
No,
I was going to say I'm not big on Italy.
I'm not big on Italy either. I'm actually leaning towards Croatia getting out of that.
Well, I mean, all three might get out, but let me tell you this, right?
I'm not big on Spain at all.
While we do this tournament, while we do this bracket, I just want you to keep in mind that, you know, one big team has to go out, right? Like, early. It always happens, right? Like,
that's what I'm thinking. It might be.
Every time anyone does these brackets, it's always every team that everyone expects in the Final Four. That's not how tournaments work, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It might be Spain.
You think it's Spain? I think Spain have a decent team, you know? And I'm never usually high on, like, since that golden generation, I've never been high on Spain going into a tournament.
Team, you know?
You got Lamine. You got Pedri.
I'm excited
still.
for him.
You got Nico Williams on the left.
Yeah, not moved.
You don't like Nico Williams?
He's all right.
I think he gives Spain something that they haven't had in a while. He gives them a little bit of explosiveness.
Yeah, he definitely does give that. Yeah.
Rodri is obviously still there. Gavi, unfortunately, missing this tournament. Pau Torres in the back. I think, to be fair, I've seen them in enough of these tournaments go deep enough. To be fair, the last World Cup was disappointing, obviously, with Morocco. But look, I'm not saying Spain are going to go all the way.
Sorry, bro. I think Spain are going to give us what they did in the last tournament. They're going to give us one game where it's like, maybe it's against Albania. When's their game against Albania? Is it the first game?
I don't know.
They're going to play, and then they are going to do 1,000 passes.
You're going to beat the brakes off.
And we're going to be like, never write off the Spaniards. And then I think it will come for them, bro. I think they'll get humbled. So I don't know. I might be wrong, but
so give me
Spain,
your
I'm not a fan. I'm going with Croatia top the group.
Croatia top the group.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm looking at it. I'm still not fully in depth with these teams right now. I'm on holiday mode right now. I'm trying to say.
You chose the wrong time to be on holiday.
I just had a long season, but I'm going to go Croatia. I'm going to go
Well, let's talk about Italy a little.
Spain.
I was going to say Italy is the team that we really haven't spoken about. It's crazy that the reigning Euro champions, the reigning Euro holders are kind of being written off by everyone. But I looked at this team. Have you looked at their squad? It's really very different to the last Euro squad. Extremely different. Obviously, Spalletti is the manager now. And it's a really young team, to be fair. Obviously, Verratti is not there. Locatelli didn't make the squad, which I was quite shocked about. Like, Immobile is no longer there.
Barella there, though, yeah?
Huh?
Barella's there.
Barella is still there. But it's first of all, it's a very, like, Italy-based heavy team. And it's based on a lot of players that play throughout Serie A, not just like your Milans, Inters. Like, you got Bologna players who obviously just came off a great season. Huh? Scamacca is obviously the striker from Atalanta. You got players from Bologna, Roma. Like, it's well represented throughout Serie A.
I don't like predictions.
Yeah,
I don't want to do predictions
because you got to put your rep on the line.
Yeah, because I don't want to do predictions. I don't want to do predictions.
Men decided to say this, by the way, 20 minutes into the episode.
I don't want to do predictions. I think with Italy, the thing about them is that you don't know what you're going to get because of how they scraped through the qualifiers. Obviously, they didn't even get to the previous tournament, the World Cup, and they scraped through the qualifiers. So you're looking at it and you're just like, But then again, just like what I was saying about Germany, what do we say about Real Madrid and all this? Heritage. Now, I don't think Italy don't really have Euros.
Yeah, to be fair.
Heritage like that. They're a World Cup nation in terms of they won four. Yeah. They're second to Brazil. So they don't really like Euro heritage. Maldini never won a Euros. Buffon never won a Euros and stuff. So I wouldn't really be saying heritage for Italy. But international football is international football, and Italy's always a major player that I think you still gotta respect. But in terms of what to expect from them, I don't have high expectations for them.
Unpredictable. So then what? You got Spain second or Italy second?
I got Spain to come out. I don't know about the third and fourth and all that, but I think to come out will be Spain and Croatia.
Do you think Italy will come third over
Albania?
I expect
them to, yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Group C. England. This is the same guy who was doing this for Nigeria, by the way, huh? He did the same thing for Nigeria.
Oh, Britannia.
Nah. Someone clip that up. Someone clip that up. Yo, England, Denmark, Slovenia, and Serbia.
Serbia run, man. They let me down, bro. They let me down.
Is that it for you with Serbia?
I don't know, man.
I remember last tournament.
Still got Mitro coming off
they
still got Mitro coming off a 30. What is it? Nearly a 40-goal campaign.
Yeah, he did his thing in Saudi.
England have got to get the job done. It's as simple as that. England have got to top this group.
Yep.
No excuses. Slovenia are there, but they ain't got Luka, have they? I'm confused. So I'm thinking of this is football, right?
But Serbia ain't got Jokic either.
Bro, this is what I'm saying. So this is football right now. So I expect England to heavily deal, not heavily. I never want to say heavily, but I expect England to come out of that group comfortably. There is going to be a game, I think, that England are going to get pushed for sure. Maybe even draw. But I expect England to top that group.
Talk to me a little bit about England. Talk to me a little bit about England.
The thing with England is that I think we're going into this tournament with our most talented squad, I would say. In terms of talent spread, I would say this is probably England's most talented squad. Even talking about through the golden generation, I think the top end of the golden generation is better. When you're talking about Rooney, you're talking about Gerrard, Lamps and stuff like that. But if you're talking about the bench,
I'm saying when we get to Carragher and Paul Robinson,
honestly, like now look, Carragher decent, but when you're getting to the keepers and
Crouch
Carson and you're getting to them type of level, you're talking about Wayne Bridge, and, bro, like with all due respect, these guys are good players, but Danny Mills and Darius Vassell and that, you're getting to that kind of range, you're looking at there's a big disparity between that.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about in terms of talent, you're talking about Cole Palmer's a bench player.
Yeah.
You're talking about Kobbie Mainoo, a bench player potentially. You're talking about Wharton, who's a really good player, bench. Watkins,
I mean, look at Watkins
bench.
As a bench player. It's crazy.
These are talents, bro. You're talking potentially Phil Foden, bench. You don't know. So we're talking about really good players here. So I think on a talent basis, this is England's best squad. But again, there's question marks over England because England do this thing where you can't get too excited over what they do in the group. You can't get too excited over Serbia. You can't get too excited over those nations because what England tend to do is beat them nations.
I was gonna say that's football heritage.
It's coming home, and then you meet France, you meet Italy, you meet Croatia, and you're packing your bags on the way home. You meet Portugal, you're going home. So that's the one thing about England that's always guaranteed, and that's something that they're gonna have to overcome. The big thing about England, I think, obviously I don't listen to all the other nations' medias, but the thing about England is we feel like our 11's not fixed yet. And that's true. Then that's the concern. I think I can name France's potential 11. I think I can name Portugal's, judging by their friendlies. But when you look at England, it's still very, actually, is the 10 role for Palmer? Oh, actually, no. Is that for Foden? Or is Jude going to drop in? Actually, who's going to play on the left? Oh, is it Maguire's not really been fit? Is it Maguire playing? So who's playing left back? England still have them question marks. But the one thing I would say is every player in mention is quality. Is Foden going to play in midfield? Well, that's a quality option. Is Trent going to play in midfield? He's an unbelievable player. Those are the only ones that I'll look at is maybe left back. I think England are weak now. You're hoping a player that hasn't played all season and Luke Shaw manages to race the fitness as if he's '06 Wayne Rooney or something. Do you know what I mean? Like it's crazy. That's how much we're relying on it. So do you know what I mean?
You're gonna see Luke Shaw on the bench and like his tracksuit or whatever, and the commentators gonna be like, how they wish they could have him right now.
That's the thing. So, but when you're looking at England, bro, like Kobe, like FA Cup final winner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're looking at Jude, you're looking at Foden, Kane, Saka.
It's world level talent.
Trent.
Yeah. And I think it's the first time in a while that I, as an outsider, can really look at England and say, like, because we've talked about this in the past, right? These old England golden generations, the way they get propped up, and they were great groups of individual players, but I think they were really highly rated in England. But when you look at the rest of the countries around the world, France at that time had unbelievable talent.
Yeah.
Vieira, Henry, Zidane, Makelele, the names go on and on. Portugal even, like they weren't even like one of the best.
Rui Costa,
Figo, Pauleta,
Maniche,
or young Ronaldo. Yeah. Brazil, it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Italy, it speaks for itself. Like these teams. So England were great, but everyone else was probably better, to be honest with you. But when I look at this England team, I think you could genuinely make the argument that on a purely talent level basis, I'm not saying that the squad, the team, the coaching, just looking at individuals, I think they can stack up and probably have an argument to be better than every single nation
I think,
at this tournament.
I think England, often that when we go into tournaments, we say this, that, exactly what you're saying. Oh, we've got this.
But you know what? This is the first time I've ever thought this,
I fully agree. I think we walk into this as a top 3 team in the tournament. By talent, not by because we have Rooney, not because we have Gerrard, genuinely because of the talent. I think us, Portugal and France, in terms of talent spread, are the 3 best nations in the tournament. And I need England to show that. And that's why I'm always saying, you know, I kind of understood it in the past where you play a Owen Hargreaves, who was very good, by the way. You play an Owen Hargreaves, you play a Hendo, you play, okay, cool. Them man have better players, cool. I'm sorry. Teams should be fearing England now, bro. This is the first time I'm saying teams should be fearing England in terms of the talent they have. I'm talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold could be a bench player for this country. This is crazy. Start him, bro. Start these players. Teams should be thinking about, how do we stop this? How do we stop that? But often England tend to kind of be like, how do we stop them? How are we going to set up our game plan to nullify their best players? For once, can people once think, how are we going to stop England's best players? And that's how I want England to go into the tournament. Now, I don't necessarily want Trent to be in midfield. You know how I am about Trent in the right back. But it's positive to hear at least that I'm hearing Southgate is like looking at Cobby's. He's looking at Trent's for midfield. Not Gallagher, not Henderson.
Hold on.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But no, I'm saying it's good to hear it.
Yeah,
because now I'm thinking, he's going more. He's trying to go more on a control, on a more offensive. So this is good to hear. So, but let's see how it goes in the tournament.
What's your England midfield? I'm not gonna ask you the whole squad, but what's your England midfield?
It's so hard because literally just last night, I was like, yo, Cobby's got to start. You know, like England need that. Like, I can just imagine if Cobby starts and you know me again, and Trent is that right back, I'm severely moved. I'm severely moved. And then I saw Wharton, but I'm like, it's too early for him. Probably they'll probably say it's too early, but it could be early for Cobby too.
Yeah.
But then you got Phil Foden and Jude, and it's just like
and you know Jude's gonna play. Like Jude will start.
Jude is playing. Listen, there's some surefire starters. The thing is, surefire starters are.
The thing is, 2 of them play in this midfield, Rice and Jude. I think they're guarantees. I think that third place.
That third place is between Cobby, Trent, Foden.
Probably Gallagher too. I think Gallagher is a massive shout for that midfield.
This is how I'll do it. Yeah. This is how I do it. It's not so hard anymore to coach an inverted player, right? Yeah. I'm not now saying he should push up Stones and make a double. I remember I was speaking to Rio, and Rio was saying, play John Stones, make him go in there. He'll play Kyle Walker. They'll form a 3. John Stones will play like 6. I literally said to
got the facilities to coach
I literally said to Rio, but can Southgate coach that? And we were like, we don't know. So, but inverting a fullback is much easier. So I would personally go with Trent, let's say Maguire, Stones, and let's say Luke Shaw, right? I'm going Trent to invert into a double pivot with Stones. with Declan Rice. And I'm putting Foden and Jude advanced for me, that's the perfect combination. And then on the left, you can pick, if you want to pick Grealish, you can. If you want to pick Anthony Gordon, you can. Saka's going to do his thing. Kane's going to do his thing. In that team, I think I have everything. I have the long passing range and being able to collect the ball from the back in Trent, the technical quality. I've got the breaking of the game in Declan Rice. I've got the athleticism and goals of Jude. And I've got the ball carrying ability and dribbling ability of Foden. I think you've got the perfect balance. I got a passer, I got a ball winner, I got athleticism, I got a dribbler. I've got everything.
The tacticals are going crazy.
Bro, I've got everything. I've literally got everything. And then the front three can pick itself. And Saka's gonna play. Yeah. Kane is gonna play. And then the left hand side, I think anyone. If I have that team, I can have anyone at the left wing. That's my team.
Let me ask you this one question before we move on. Is anything but winning Euro 2024 considered failure for England?
Yeah, definitely. Because I haven't seen a nation knock on maybe Netherlands, but knock on the door so much and looking like you're almost there. Oh, you're almost there. And then not end up doing it. They always end up doing it. If England don't do it, it's going to feel kind of like a Spurs with Poch, like, you should have done it. And now all of a sudden, your golden generation's gone. You're back to fighting for nothing. Yeah. I think now this England team is going to go on for a long time because one thing people need to be aware of is that England at academy level, talking about teams in the academy, England are producing serious good players now.
So I'm going to guess you got England
it would be
first.
failure.
Who do you have kind of rounding out that group? Like I said, Denmark, Serbia, Slovenia.
I'm going to go with...
the Serbia...
No.
You got one more in you.
Serbia
pisses me off at these tournaments, bro, because they should be actually really good when you look at their individual players. But I do feel like they're top heavy. I can't lie.
They are. I'm gonna go with. I like Denmark.
Denmark for me and Switzerland are similar in terms of like they always come through and a little upset here and there.
I'm gonna go Denmark. Yeah.
I do feel like this Denmark generation though is starting to come to an end.
Come on, Rasmus.
When Eriksen is still
Rasmus, what you got for us, man? Hey. Is Rasmus gonna dunk on England?
Don't let Rasmus Højlund get in a foot race with Stones and Maguire. Well, you got Serbia third or Serbia fourth?
Third.
Okay, and then Slovenia.
Slovenia.
All right, let's move on to the next group. Group D.
What's yours for that group?
I would agree. England, Denmark, Serbia. Honestly, like, there's some teams in these tournaments, and this might be like, oh yes, you're being like, I don't know, this is ignorant for you to say. But there's some teams I just watch at these tournaments every year, and I feel like every year we say the same thing about them. Like, well, Turkey's another one. Every year we go into these tournaments saying, oh, they could be a dark horse. Have you seen them in qualifiers? And I'm like, bar 2008, Turkey have never moved me at one of these tournaments, bro. Serbia, we have this idea because they have all these big... I remember Serbia 2010 when they went with Vidic, Ivanovic, they had Stankovic in midfield. They had a crazy team. They went out in the group stage, bro, with Australia, and like, it was... So I can't lie. I might sound like, oh, you haven't done your research or whatever. So your team, you have to look. I try and stay away from those teams, to be honest with you. Group D. Another interesting one, huh? I think this is the interesting thing with the Euros. The World Cup, sometimes you can have like a bottom feeder at one of these groups because, I don't know, like a team goes to the playoffs through CONCACAF. But these ones, you typically have like some solid teams. Netherlands, France, Austria, and Poland.
Netherlands, France, Austria, and Poland. Now Poland are another one where we'll just
you know what I'm talking about. Like
Poland, they
don't move me, bro.
No. Hey, I always think, oh yeah, they got Blaszczykowski.
You learned how to say his name from last time.
They got Lua. They got that Pizek. They got the odd, bro. You know what I mean? They got Chesney. They got the odd few that but then they never really do. And is Lua going again, or is he retired now?
No, I think he is going.
Jeez. What is it? France to top that group.
Yeah, I agree.
And then you've got...
Can I tell you this, huh? Austria.
You're moving.
Ralph Rangnick.
No, he's cooking a little something.
He's cooking, bro.
He's cooking a little something there. Is he still
Conrad Leimer.
Is he still running? Is Alaba still running around in the 10?
No, I think he's missing the Euros, bro. I think he's injured because bro, that's a big miss. Because I can't lie, Austria, we had something for y'all, man. I can't lie.
Yeah, but he's on his Alphonso Davies thing.
Leimer. Hey, bro, I can't lie.
Yeah.
Austria. This is my Serbia, bro. I can't lie. Ralph, what you got for me? Let's look at the top
France.
though.
Yeah.
France. I can't remember the last time we entered an international tournament where they weren't considered the favorites. But I look at their team this time and it's like, it's good. It's an incredible group. And we always see the graphics where it's like, yo, they could line up 4 squads and each one of them could challenge. But I don't know, man. There are some big names that are kind of like some big names have kind of departed from the scene in the last few times. Obviously, Pogba, we know what's happened. Lloris is now retired from the international scene. Varane is now retired from the international scene. Kante got his call up, to be fair. Shout out him, but is kind of like a bit part player now. Giroud is on the decline. So it's not the team from 2018. Let's get that out of the way. But it's still a damn good squad, bro. I can't lie. If Mike Maignan is fit, one of the best goalkeepers in the world. In the back, you have such a wide array of center backs to choose from. Obviously, Saliba doesn't even make the starting 11, which, I mean, you could say that's international tax, right? Because they typically have their favorites. But Konate and Upamecano, for me, is still a really good kind of duo to pick from. The fullbacks are always solid. In midfield, you have Champions League winners in there. Tchouameni, Camavinga, Rabiot, although I'm not his biggest fan, is still like a reliable guy at this level. Fofana. And then you look up front, right? And it's funny, actually. This is probably the one area of the team that I do worry a bit for France, because while they do have, in my opinion, the best player in the world, Kylian Mbappe, the rest of the attack, it's a bit touch and go for me. Dembele is the definition of touch and go, in terms of you never know what you're going to get from him. Barcola is still kind of unproven at this level. Kolo Muani's coming off a really, really bad individual season. Giroud is Giroud, but I actually think the one that I'm kind of looking at and saying, what can you give me this tournament after a really good season, is Marcus Thuram. I think he had a really good year for Inter, was maybe the signing of the season when you look at value for money. What can you kind of bring me for this team? But this France team, it's interesting, man. Like, I look at their 11 against England. I think it's pretty fairly balanced when you kind of compare player for player. But I have to give credit to Deschamps, which I don't always do. They have the experience. Yep. They have the winning know-how.
Oh, wait. Say that again.
I'm giving credit to Didier Deschamps.
Yeah, respect Deschamps.
For me, it's
respect Deschamps.
If France is playing England, I'm going to give the tactical nous, the tactical advantage to a guy like Didier Deschamps.
Respect him.
You're doing too much.
Respect him. You're too much of a hater on Deschamps, bro.
Look, Deschamps, you're a good dude.
Nah, he's a great international manager. Respect that.
Let's be real here, right? The reason why we go into all of these tournaments, giving France the advantage in almost every game they play, is because they have one of the greatest international players of all time. And I'm not afraid to say that, Kylian Mbappe. The last Euros, though, you got to make sure that shit don't happen again.
That was a shambles.
One of the worst tournaments from a superstar I can ever remember a player having.
That was a shambles. Yeah. Everything, his actions, the taking of the corners, the taking of the free kick.
But that was a weird team, you know. If you remember the whole Benzema kind of story that went on, they brought him in last minute. It kind of probably ruined the dynamic of the team. Yeah. And in fact, you know what, right? I'm an idiot. And this is why he's the most underrated player in the world. How can I talk about France? How could I talk about Griezmann?
I was waiting for you to get
I completely forgot about it. But that just kind of sums up Griezmann, to be honest with you. Coming off an amazing season individually for Atletico Madrid. Again, international tournaments, talk about greatest international players, at least of this generation, Griezmann's up there.
The thing is, right, one thing that often happens, right, with international tournaments, and you can go back, and I always say with international, like, I love international football, first of all, when it comes to the tournament.
It's the purest version of the game.
It's such a part, like, I'm actually well into it, right? Especially when it comes to England, like in the tournaments and stuff. But, you look at international football, other than Spain, you look at Spain. Spain are the only nation that I've seen at international level that made it look like club football. Yeah. Right? The way they played, the cohesiveness they had. I mean, most of them were Barcelona players anyway, and Real Madrid. Yeah, I'm saying. So they played like it was club football. The rest of it, the international football is different. So even when you're saying, you have a bit of worries for France, for example, I'm sorry, this is where you say in international football, this player must step up, this player must rise. And people like Griezmann, you go as far as Griezmann takes you in tournaments like this. You go as far as Mbappe takes you in tournaments like this. And this is why I have such an issue with people like Harry Kane at England, because these are the moments that when, who's England's left winger? I don't care. I have Kane, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I have Kane, bro. Like, what am I talking
You never hear about France. Who's France's left winger?
You know what I mean? Like, what's Dembele? I don't care. I have Mbappe. I have Griezmann, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? They're going to do me what I need to do. So, what you're talking about there, we can say it's maybe not a complete squad in certain
But as long as you have, for me, Mbappe and Griezmann.
Put Griezmann there. Put Tchouameni and Camavinga behind him. Have Mbappe where he wants to play. You're going to go far.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I need, mate. You know what I'm trying to say?
It's true. That's a great show.
That's how it should be.
I completely agree. No, this is why, for me, I agree with you so much. International football, it's like the last remnant of the football I enjoy, where it's like, give the ball to your best player, let him get to work.
Bro, were you asking, what's Malouda gonna do? Zidane,
get the ball to Zizou, bro. Take me to the promised land.
Thank you. Take me where I need to go, bro. Who else is there? What other nations? Like when you look at Brazil, R9, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, deliver.
What is zero? What is zero?
What's Roque Jr. got for me, bro? You know what I mean? Argentina. Yo, DePaul, you be a little braided bodyguard. Messi, what have you got for me, please? Like, all right, Enzo, you want to join the party too? Cool. Where are we going? This is what international football is, bro. Do you know where I'm coming from? Like, let's stop messing around here, bro. Like, take me as far as my best player can take me, bro. That's often how international football is, bro.
I said, what did Malouda catch us straight?
No, bro. I've just been bigging up Malouda. Yeah, it's maybe the Leon top that you're wearing. You know what I mean? But I'm just like, I'm not sitting there thinking like, oh man, what's Malouda got for me? I'm thinking, what's Zidane got for me, bro? So Wiltord, what have you got for me? Come on, bruv. Like, all these guys need to do is go as far as your best player, but in that final big game, if your best player is playing at their best or isn't playing at their best, who can bail me out? Who can do something? Where's my Trezeguet moment? Where's my Gotze? Where's my Fabio Grosso? Where's my... You get me?
Montiel.
Yeah. Where are them guys? Where's the Iniesta? Obviously, Iniesta's
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying? Who's gonna do that moment? That's all that you need in a tournament, bro.
Hey, Malouda, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
No, Malouda.
I'm sorry, it had to be. He could have picked Abidal. He could have picked.
My bad. I was just thinking about left wingers. Listen, Malouda, mate, you know, I'm giving you your props online right now, mate. I'm getting blasted for comparing you to Saka. Imagine that. Oh, man.
There's another team in this group that we haven't spoken about.
Yeah.
The Netherlands. They don't move me.
Where's Fuad Kadani, man?
Not here, thankfully. He's going to tell us about Luke de Jong. Netherlands and another team that we're going to talk about soon are the two teams that, you know how we always say, like, okay, whenever we do these tournament brackets, let's be like, keep an open mind that one of these so-called big sides is going to crash out. I'm looking at the Netherlands and I'm not moved, bro. I'll be real. And I haven't been moved for a minute. Ever since that Schneider, Van Persie, Robin trio kind of departed from the scene, this Dutch team has not moved me in the slightest. And I keep saying it every one of these tournaments. It's sad to see them because I grew up, and I'm sure you did too, on Dutch teams that had this incredible attacking flair. Your boy Ruud, Huntelaar as your backup striker, Van der Vaart not even getting off the bench at times, but it was always the defense and even the goalkeeper in Stekelenburg who would let them down in the end. And I look at this Dutch team and it's like the polar opposite. Like you look at the defenders that they brought on board. Van Dijk, Ake, De Ligt, Van de Ven. I think Timber missed out. Daley Blind, Frimpong, Botman missed out. This Dutch generation is defense heavy, and even their midfield is pretty strong as well too. Xavi Simons, Frankie, De Roon unfortunately is missing. Like Koopa Miners, I think is part of that group as well too. It's a strong defensive Dutch team. But then you look at their front, their attack, and you know how we're talking about international football. It's all about, can your best player kind of bring you there? Is Van Dijk supposed to just drag this Dutch team on his back to glory? Is Depay really international caliber for an international winning team? You look at the options around him too. You're still calling upon Bergwijn. Your strike options are Luke de Jong and Weghorst. I'm sorry, this Dutch team don't move me at all. At all. And I'm going to say this now. They're for me going to be the flop of this tournament in terms of like big team.
Wow. Who's their manager again? Koeman again.
Koeman. And that's another one too, huh?
I think with the Netherlands again, they're another nation that they just flatter to deceive, innit? But at least before, when they used it, that's what I'm saying. At least when they used the flatter to deceive, I'm turning my TV on for thinking. The only reason I turn on my TV for Netherlands now is because I like how the orange looks. I'm being dead serious. They look nice, you know what I mean? The orange always hits. It just feels, maybe because of Cruyff and it just feels heritage, you know what I mean? But in general, like the Netherlands, as you mentioned, the defense, you can go through the names, really good. You know what I mean? They got Frimpong, right? They got Frimpong who hopefully he starts. That might be a little bit of excitement, I can't lie.
The right wing back is your most exciting part.
But you're talking about offensively. I mean, we had the pleasure of speaking with Kluivert on BR, and he was even saying like offensively.
You know, he was guessing at Brian Brobbey.
Yeah,
that's who he was guessing.
I mean, to be fair to Brian Brobbey, he needs to have a good tournament. Is he fit?
I think so.
It'll be interesting to see how he gets on because he's linked to good teams. Yeah. And I've never really seen it with Brobbey. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, he had that spell at Leipzig where it didn't work out. Went back to Ajax.
Yeah. I've never really seen it with Brobbey. So
to be fair, we are missing out Gakpo, who at the last tournament was kind. Look, I'm not a big fan of Gakpo. I was never too huge on him, but I can't lie. The last World Cup,
He was decent.
He was one of those guys that the Netherlands needed to kind of produce.
I don't know if they'll be the flop of the tournament, but in terms of going deep in the tournament, no, I don't have them going far.
Yeah, me neither. And I might even go as far. I'm gonna put Austria over Netherlands. I think I just might.
Wow. I mean, something's got to give.
I was gonna say one of these teams has. Can we agree that Netherlands is gonna be that team?
I don't know.
Is this the one you give me? Because I gave you Croatia first.
I'll give you Netherlands.
So I want Austria second, Netherlands third, Poland fourth. Group E, and this is also where I kind of see a potential stumbling block for a so-called big nation. To be fair, I say big nation because I don't think they are a big historical footballing nation, but Belgium, Slovakia, Romania, Ukraine. I'll be real.
Belgium, Slovakia, Romania. They got it. Belgium got lucky with that group.
I'll be real. Like, this is that group that, like, you know, it's a sunny day out.
Yeah.
We're stuck inside for all those other days watching every single game. Belgium's group.
Yeah, go get the Copperbergs out. Do you know what I mean? Go get the Copperbergs out, bro.
Aren't you, what's it called, a flagger guy these days?
yeah. Shout out flagger, for real. You know what I mean? But
Belgium, Slovakia, Romania, Ukraine. Oh, yeah.
That's a very poor group.
Yeah. Let's start with this Belgium team. No Hazard, obviously. He bit adieu. Courtois is not part of this group for reasons that kind of been mentioned in the past. Coming off a poor tournament at the World Cup, but I also do think that World Cup was like that last dance, and like they're kind of entering a new generation. Martinez is no longer there. Todesca is now the manager. And I can't lie, right? Belgium, I don't expect them to do much, but every time I've watched them in friendlies recently, most notably against England, I've kind of been moved a little, bro. I'll be real. Like, it's not the golden generation of like the round one, right? With Hazard, De Bruyne, all those guys. When you look at some names, Amadou Onana,
nice,
Jeremy Doku, Bakayoko on the right, coming off a really strong season with PSV. There was another one, Openda from Leipzig. Like, there's some decent young pieces. Openda. Yeah, I'm not saying it's like the team that's going to go on and dominate international. It's not bad though. And look, De Bruyne is no longer the De Bruyne of a few years ago, but he's still capable of big moments, which has always been my criticism of him at international tournaments. Because you tend to think of, like you said, international football is about your best players taking you there. And I would think that De Bruyne in these kinds of moments would shine. But for Belgium, I've never been as moved as I was for City. But Lukaku as well too in these tournaments, he's going to finish with 4 goals. He's going to leave this tournament with 4 goals, like it or not.
The thing is, with Belgium, even in Belgium's best lineups, I always thought it was Prem pushed. I just thought it was English, like they're like
the 4 in England.
Yeah. It was so Prem pushed, and I was never really moved. I was like, what? We're like gassing up Vermaelen and that. Like,
I know you don't like Witsel either.
Do you know what I mean? Witsel, come on, man. He's bro. Nainggolan, bro. Like, allow it, bro. These man ain't it, bro. Like, Nainggolan's a street.
Yeah, but you're a Fellaini guy, so
and he delivered. He turned up, bro. He turned up, right?
Fellaini against Algeria,
bro. He turned up, but I genuinely never looked at them as a team that was necessarily anything to marvel over. So when I saw them like flopping and stuff, it was never really anything to me. And I'm just like, bro, it's no different than when they used to have like Van Damme and them.
Come on, maybe to a World Cup semi-final.
Do you know what I mean?
Van Damme. Hazard used to do his thing at World Cups.
Of course. But what I would say is they'll get out of the group, I believe, because that group is poor. But I do think they'll probably go. I don't know what the brackets are, but I do think they'll go out the next round. I think KDB, I don't know. As you mentioned, it just doesn't feel like the KDB of Man City.
Oh, it never does.
And even when he came out and he said that we're too old and stuff in the last tournament, I didn't rate that at all. And then now he's talking about Saudi and stuff, which is fine. But maybe is he now, KDB now in the kind of retirement mode mentality? You don't know, but could he be?
You're leaving international football without one vintage international tournament.
Not the best thing in the world, innit? But I would say they're gonna get out of the group. They're gonna get. And I'm actually, to be fair, and I'm looking. Listen, England played against Belgium, and it was a good game.
Yeah, they beat them.
Exactly. It was a good game, so we can't sleep on them entirely. Maybe actually, do you know what? I'm gonna take back that comment about they'll go out the group because I don't know who they go out.
Let's see who they got.
I think because I don't know who they have next. But yeah, they got players, man. They got some decent players. Bakayoko and Doku. That's an unpredictable wing duo, bro.
Let's not forget Trossard as well too.
There we go.
Yeah, he knows where the goal is. The rest of I'm gonna be honest. The rest of the group is tough to predict just because I haven't watched many of these teams.
Yeah,
Romania and
I'm not familiar.
Are kind of unpredictable. Ukraine, I can't lie. Ukraine are decent. I've caught them a few times. Again, not gonna say I'm an expert on Ukraine, but I think they're okay. I'm gonna go with Ukraine. Maybe it's kind of like big nation bias.
Yeah.
Slovakia and Romania. Who do you have coming third in that group? Meeny, miny, mo.
Bro, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna go Romania third, Slovakia fourth. Final group before we go into the knockouts: Turkey, Georgia, Portugal, and Czech Republic.
Turkey, Georgia, Portugal,
Czech Republic.
Portugal should top that.
Yeah.
I think Portugal, as I mentioned, they have a fantastic squad, bro. Dallo, they got Cancelo.
Hold on. How can Dallo be the first name you mentioned?
Yes.
What?
Yes, Dallo is the first name.
The worst thing y'all ever did was give this guy that interview with Dallo,
bro.
man.
Dallo is the first name, bro. Dallo is the first name.
You got Leao. You got Bruno. You got Ronaldo.
I've been here since 2019, mate. I've been here. Dallo, Cancelo, Inacio.
Yo, I'm crying. How can you say they have some great names? Dallo.
Dallo, Inacio, Cancelo. They got this João Neves now. They got Vitinha.
Yeah.
They got Bruno.
Yeah.
They've got Cristiano, obviously. I don't know if Jota will be fit.
Yeah.
They've got Leao. They got Felix, bro. They've got, who else have they got?
Diaz, Pepe.
Yeah, no. They got Pepe. They got Pepe. Bernardo. Do you know what I mean? So they've got some. They got a really good player. They've got everything you need. They've got speed. They've got individual ability. They've got goals. They've got technical quality, and they've got very good defensive. So I look at them, as I mentioned, in the same way that I look at France. I look at Thingy, and I actually think, and I said it in the last tournament, and I think he did well as well. But I think the X factor is Bruno. And the thing is, right, I'm critical of Bruno as a player and stuff. But what did I just say about tournaments? It comes down to what you can do individually. And no matter what people think about Bruno, he's got X factor. In midfield, he's probably got, other than probably Kevin De Bruyne, you're talking about probably the most X factor in his position in world football.
Yep.
Like, that is, no matter what, bro, the guy can bang it in from 30 yards. The guy can chip a ball over the whole defense. So he can do these type of things. Who cares about retention and stuff at international? Bro, you get the ball and you put that ball in the back of the net, please.
Let me tell you this as well, too. He's entering this tournament with incredible form as well, too. His last 10 games for United, 7 goals, 4 assists. And his last 10 games for Portugal, 10 goals, 6 assists.
Yeah.
Like
10 goals,
6 assists.
I'm gonna go as far as say I think he'll be in a team in the tournament.
I'm gonna go as far as saying this. I think he could damn well win player of the tournament. I think he could. I completely agree with you. I think this kind of tournament is built for players like Bruno in terms of guys that, look, it's not about building a structure and having a well-balanced team. You're talking about get the ball to your best players and let them get to work. That should, like, if you had a Bruno Fernandes can, that's what it says on the can.
Yeah.
Give the ball to Bruno and let him get to work, bro. Chance creating machine, goals from distance,
so suited
poaching instincts, 100%.
It's so suited for him. Especially that he has, especially that he has Neves, both Neveses, Vitinha, and these ball players behind. Forget the retention stuff. Yeah. You get on it and you do what you can do best, especially because I think the reliance, as we know, on Cristiano is pretty much minuscule now. Ronaldo's not their go-to, we need you to deliver anymore. So who's the next one? You're looking at Bruno, you're looking at Rafael Leao. Those are the two that I'm looking at. Bernardo just doesn't give me them vibes of that type of player.
For Portugal, he's never that player.
Yeah, and Bernardo, you know what you're going to get from him. Keep the ball nice, interchange. He's going to, and sometimes he's clutch. But Leao and Bruno, I'm looking at them two this tournament. I want something, especially from Rafael Leao, because Bruno, last tournament, I said, well done, mate. Leao, I wasn't impressed. So this tournament, I'm looking at Rafael Leao as one of my one to watch. If I had a 5 one to watches, Rafael Leao, you're one of them.
I think the Ronaldo one is always an interesting thing because even though he isn't their go-to guy anymore, you can't talk about Portugal without talking about Cristiano Ronaldo.
For sure.
And I said it at last tournament, and I think it's so cruel, to be honest with you, right? It's like the best player that country has ever produced, top 2, top 3 player of all time, finally has the best supporting cast at international level that he's ever had at the end of his career when realistically he is nowhere near the peak of his powers. I do think it's cruel because we watched Ronaldo at his best carrying the likes of like Varela, who was it? Varela on the right, in midfield, like Veloso,
Veloso, Contrao, and all these men.
Contreras was a decent player. I like Contreras. Yeah, he was. Real Madrid, come on, he's a decent player. But no, I hear what you're saying. It is cruel, and in fact, it's cruel because like the best two teams he's played with came at the start of his career, and came at the end of his career. I've seen some people saying Ronaldo's not going to start at this Euros because he missed a few friendlies. I know he didn't play last night. He didn't play at all.
He played with the B team.
Ronaldo, you look at the last few games for Portugal. Ronaldo has been in that team, bro. Ronaldo
he played for the B team, bro.
Ronaldo.
The one that he was talking about, they had 2 games that
I looked today, the last like 5-6 games. Ronaldo has been starting most of them, bro. I'll be real. And I do think, I don't like what I'm about to say, but I do think that Ronaldo will impact how Portugal plays in one way or another. In terms of if he plays, I do think that the entire dynamic of the team changes, bro. Because you say like, oh, he's not someone they have to rely on anymore. But inherently, when Cristiano Ronaldo plays for your team, he is the focal point.
Yeah.
Players are going to look for him. He is going to be involved in build-up. Like, Ronaldo is not the kind of player that's going to sit up front, touch the ball 2 times a game, and be happy with that kind of stuff. So I am interested. We saw it in the previous tournament with, what's my man's name? Fernando Santos. Made the big call to bench him. The thing is, short term it worked. Long term it didn't. Obviously in the final, I don't think, bro, Portugal can win this tournament with Cristiano Ronaldo up front. That's my take.
Well,
do you think they can? Do you think Portugal can win this Euros if Ronaldo's starting?
I don't know who's going to win the Euros.
Do you feel more confident about Portugal if Ronaldo's starting?
Who's the replacement?
Gonzalo Ramos.
I would always still be more confident with Cristiano than Gonzalo Ramos, personally. Like.
What about Jota?
No, Jota is a different one.
If I give you Jota up front or Cristiano Ronaldo, who do you feel more comfortable with for Portugal?
At this current moment, for what Portugal are, probably Jota, especially because Jota is actually used to playing in a Liverpool team where he's not the main man. Other people are running beyond him, and he's just getting his. So that could happen with Lyés, that can happen with Bruno Fernandes. So it kind of makes more sense on a stylistic point of view. But when it comes to Ramos and Ronaldo, I'm always going to stick with Ramos. I don't think Ramos is that guy. I'm sorry, with Ronaldo. I don't think Ramos is that guy. But I do think that Ronaldo, I would start Jota, I'll be honest. I would start Jota. I do think Ronaldo coming off the bench.
He's a weapon.
That could be game-changing, bro. That could be a game-changing substitution. But again, listen, a lot goes into it when it comes to when you have a godlike figure like that.
That's what I'm saying, right?
But like, listen, Ronaldo is doing some things. I know it's Saudi. They're like ranked 500 or something in the world. But, yo, I'm sure I'm seeing a bit of... Is he getting his... third wind of athleticism back, bro, because I'm seeing some like, yo, he doing overhead kick attempts and stuff. I'm like looking kind of loose, my guy.
I think it would be beautiful though. I can't lie. If Ronaldo is what should be, look, is he really gonna play in 2026? Yeah. That would be insane. But his last tournament, if he could play that role off the bench and like have at least one big last moment for Portugal coming off the bench, I do think that would be like, wow, what a way to cap it off.
Yeah,
but that Portugal team
that
is
1
scary.
or 2 goals, but 1 or 2 goals would be like worth like 7 goals. 1 or 2 goals off the bench. Yeah.
Well, it depends where they come from. Like,
okay, yeah, true. Yeah.
Georgia,
oh yeah, no, for sure.
I'm talking about like semi-final. Portugal, Germany.
But see, this is the thing though. This is the problem that Roberto Martinez has, when it comes to Cristiano, is that you look at that group, you just said who? Georgia,
Czech Republic, and Turkey.
He might think, we'll start Ronaldo. We'll win these games anyway. But then you come up against a better team, and then do you start? That's the dilemma, because you want to make Ronaldo happy. You don't want to have a unhappy Ronaldo in the camp. So there's a lot of issues. I do think. Now, listen, I don't know Cristiano Ronaldo personally, nothing. But he seems a lot more within, what's the word? Like, comfortable within himself than he used to be.
He's comfortable with, like, where he's at in football.
Yes, that's the perfect term. He's comfortable where he's at now. So I'm hoping he's kind of just on a, let's go for the team type thing.
One thing is for sure. You told me that story the other day in terms of, like, Ronaldo's MO is to win.
Yes.
Right? Like, no matter what people say about him, at the end of the day, if you tell Ronaldo he's not going to play a single minute at the Euros, but Portugal's going to win the Euros, I think he'll bite your hand off. So that's interesting. But I completely agree, bro. I laughed at the Dallo thing, but you look at that back line, even for Portugal, I think it is a strong defense. Bro. And we're talking about Cancelo. You said Cancelo's the second name. He might not even start, bro. You got Nuno Mendes on the left. You got Dallo on the right.
Antonio Silva.
Pepe and Antonio Silva. That's what you're going for, huh?
No. I'm saying he's an option as well, isn't it?
No Diaz, huh?
Oh, wait, is Diaz going to start?
Yeah.
Yeah, then Portugal ain't going far. I forgot.
This is the weirdest agenda
I
on the planet.
I forgot about that. What, Diaz is starting, yeah?
Yeah. As well, too, we always talk about, like, who's going to be the emerging, young star from this Euros. And it's tough to say because it's always someone we never see coming. But But I do look in that midfield, that little kid from Benfica, João Neves. I know he's being rumored to a lot of clubs, especially ours, United. 120 million pounds reported, which is a lot of money. But there's a lot of hype for this kid.
He's in my one to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
I've got 2 Portugal players in my one to watch.
So Leao and João Neves.
Yeah, for actual real football reasons.
Yep.
If I'm doing it for hate watch, then Diaz is number 1. I'm joking.
The whole tournament.
But nah, I'm joking. But nah, yeah, I got Rafael Leao and Neves in my one to watch.
Interesting. So we look at the rest of that group just to round it up. Czech Republic, Georgia, Turkey. I like Czech Republic you know what is World Cup? I've never seen Czech Republic as that team. But Euros, they always last tournament, I think they went quarterfinals.
It's true. Where's their Milan Barros nowadays, man?
It's what's his name? The guy who went crazy last time. Schick, yeah, Patrick Schick.
So who's their Nedved? Who's their Jan Koller?
Who's the guy that used to play in the back for Atletico?
You Felici.
The craziest name. No, I think Czech Republic in these tournaments, they typically end up having something for these teams. To Euro heritage.
Yeah, they do. Who's the team? Sorry, Georgia.
Turkey and Georgia.
What, Arda? Has he got anything for me?
Arda Güler.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Has he got anything for me?
Imagine.
Anything.
I would love that.
I would actually
go
crazy
love
for that. Like, do I have to add him to my ones to watch?
I think so. If he starts.
Do I add Arda to my one to watch? I'm going to think about that.
Georgia, I think we're going to round it off. I can't lie. It's a huge accomplishment that they're even here. Kvaratskhelia and co obviously doing bits.
Nice.
I'm going to go Czech Republic second.
Yeah, same.
You okay with that? Czech Republic or Turkey?
I'm going to go with...
I'll give you this one. Whatever you want.
I'm going to go with Turkey.
Okay. So Turkey comes second. Czech Republic third. Georgia fourth. All right, that's the group stage. That's kind of our in-depth of each team as well, too. Yeah. Now we can kind of speed through this. So now we're going to go through the third place ranking. So these were all the third place teams that we basically did. And like I said, the 4 best advanced to the next round. So just quickly off the top of your head, Switzerland, Italy, Serbia, Netherlands, Romania, Czech Republic. Can you rank them 1 through 6?
I'm going to go Italy.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Netherlands.
Yep.
I'm going to go Czech Republic.
Yep.
Switzerland.
Yep. Serbia, Romania.
Serbia, Romania.
Serbia, Romania.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll go with it. So first, now we're going to the round of 16. Germany versus Denmark.
Germany.
I'd agree with that. Hungary versus Spain.
Spain.
Croatia versus Netherlands.
Croatia.
Yeah, Croatia beating the Netherlands. That's the first big team that goes out.
Yeah. If it goes to this plan, if it goes like this, yeah.
Okay. England versus Czech Republic.
England.
Portugal versus Italy.
Portugal.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
Austria, Ukraine.
Austria.
Ralph Rangnick. Belgium, Switzerland.
Belgium, Switzerland.
Yeah.
Belgium.
Yeah, I agree. France, Turkey.
France.
Quarterfinals. Germany versus Croatia.
Oh.
I got Germany.
Germany.
Yeah, I got Germany. Portugal versus Austria.
Portugal.
It's all plenty. It's all going a little too well.
Yeah, it's too well. It's going too well.
Belgium. Versus France.
France.
England versus Spain.
England.
Ooh, you didn't even think about that one.
England.
You didn't even think about that one. Pedri, Roger, they ain't moving you.
We're running them down. We're too athletic. Too strong.
Germany versus.
This is the semis.
Yeah, it's Germany versus Portugal.
Woo!
Germany versus Portugal. Who you got? This is where it's powerhouses. And the way it's worked out, I think it's the 4 best teams on paper in the tournament. Which, by the way, means that it's not going to happen that way.
It means this ain't happening. It literally means this ain't happening because this is the 4 that I wanted. I didn't know it would pan out this way.
Portugal versus Germany.
This can actually be semi. That's crazy.
Yeah, Portugal versus Germany.
Well, because we factored them all. We put them all as top in the groups as well. Fair, though, some can finish second, so it kind of messes it up. But Germany versus Portugal.
Germany beat Portugal.
Yeah, I'm going Germany. I'm going Germany for the final. At home.
You know, I've been saying this whole time, Germany are going to win the Euros. Germany are going to win the Euros. Germany are going to win the Euros. I think Portugal might have something for them, you know? I think,
they might.
Bro,
they
that Portugal team really doesn't have a weakness. Honestly, that they really don't got a weakness.
They haven't.
I'm going to go Portugal. I'm changing my prediction up. I can't lie.
Can Cristiano get his another Euros? Woo. Career legacy booster.
I think I'm going to go Portugal. I think Portugal going to the final. And I've been saying Germany is going to the final this whole last 2 weeks. I think I'm switching it. Portugal are going. And then the other semifinal. England, France. Can you get your revenge on 2022? Or are France going to make it basically Euro 2016 part 2? England versus France. Can Kane get it done? Can Southgate avenge his demons?
We have to. And because of that, I'm going England.
England, Germany for you.
I'm going England, Germany. You know what I mean?
I'm going Portugal, France.
Oh, you're going for
I'm going
France,
Portugal,
yeah?
France.
I'm going England, Germany.
And who wins your...
on German soil? 2 world wars.
1 World Cup.
1
Euros.
Cup. 1 Euros.
So you got England beating Germany.
I've got England. No, England, Germany in a final. I'm going to go England. England's got to do it, man.
England winning a Euros on German soil against Germany.
Soil. Oh, mate. It'll be better than winning it at Wembley, innit? Jesus.
And I got France, Portugal. Who wins that? Wow.
I just think, bro, like we have to, at some point, we have to exercise these demons, bro. Like, it have to get a lick back on France, bro. Have to. Kane, redeem yourself. You have to do it, bro. It'll be a disgrace if just as Germany build a new core, they go and win it. After England have been trying to build this core. Nah, like Wirtz and Musiala just go finally ready and go and win it. England have got to do it, man. England have got to do it. And because of that, it might not be realistic, people, but because of that, I am going with them to win it.
I'm barely even listening to this guy. England in the final. You're crazy. I'm still thinking about my
prediction. We ain't been in the final.
England.
We were in the last one. What the hell? We were in the last one. What do you mean, bro?
Denmark.
This guy, bro.
Who else you play? Ukraine.
Germany.
Don't
Germany.
Move me. What? Some washed Germans.
It don't matter.
Some washed Germans. Joachim love picking his nose on the touchline. That don't move me, bro.
Beat them, bro.
Portugal versus France. And you know what? France are getting their lick back on Portugal.
Wow.
France
the dominant
are
era,
winning.
Yeah,
of course, the dominant era. Facts. They got the best player on the planet going to Real Madrid.
Wow.
And I just have this image of Bruno in tears. I don't know why it's not leaving my head.
This guy's evil.
No, I would like Portugal. I would like
Bruno in tears.
I would like Bruno. I would like Bruno to have a great tournament. But there's something. I'm Nostradamus right now. I'm seeing things. I got France winning it, man. I think Mbappe goes to Real Madrid this year as a European champion, one way or another.
You would hate it.
Mbappe has to come back with something, bro.
You hate it if Portugal gets to the final. It's the 86th minute corner. No! That will be.
The script has one last line.
That'll be your worst nightmare.
Not even, bro.
It would.
I promise you
it would. It would.
I'd like to see Ronaldo go out with something, bro. The last few years have been depressing. I can't lie. We need some competition over on Messi FC, bro. Come on.
You wouldn't want that, bro.
The fuck is this, a 20v1?
You wouldn't want that, bro. But hey, yeah, come on, England, mate. Come on, England.
Guys, let us know all your stuff down in the comment section below.
We'll do a proper one.
Yeah, and we'll be talking about these as the rounds kind of go on. But like I said, guys, it's been the eye test. Shout out to BR as well too. Always powering this podcast. All their platforms are posting our clips. Make sure to check those out. It's been your boy Lyés, CultureCams. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you soon. Peace.